Hello everyone. Today, I'll introduce the IBM Garage Experience Platform Business Opportunity Capability. We will leverage what we did in the value tree to auto-generate most of the elements of the business opportunity canvas. We will also project value for the business opportunity to capture return on investment realization. Business opportunity orchestration, a crucial component of this module, is instrumental in advancing a business opportunity through the funnel from identified to launched. We will also leverage generative AI to assess the business opportunity viability, desirability, and feasibility, and see how using these parameters helps us distinguish between different business opportunities. Finally, we will demonstrate the business opportunity pipeline visualization and the various functionalities that allow us to manage these opportunities.
I'd like to define the business opportunity. We started definition of the business opportunity during the value tree module, but we just gave it a title and associated to the program epic that it's related to. So what I can do now is I can have generative AI generate this business opportunity for me because I have already used all the details during the whole process when we defined the value tree. So it knows what is the problem that we're trying to address. It knows who the target customer. It knows what the solution we're proposing. It can specify the value proposition, and it will specify the business value and impact, as well as key metrics for success. These are the required elements for the business opportunity, but there is more fees like the cost structure, distribution channels, key partners, alliances, assumptions, constraints, impediments, squad member structure, business unit support required, asset and accelerators, proposed milestones. We have a roadmap, as well as the conceptual architecture and conceptual design. So all of that can be filled in to prepare the business case to take it to the business. How the AI is generating the business opportunity, let's go ahead and try to develop the value. So for value, we can create a value statement. There is a wizard here that has a lot of different um, uh, wizards, that types of wizards that we can use to develop the value statement. So saving time on a task, reducing FTE, production line efficiency, improving uptime, increase customer loyalty, increasing purchase frequency, increase basket size. And if none of these work, we can create our own formula. So let's go with saving time on a task. And we're going to say it's autofill form savings. And here, if I click on the blue text, it will start to ask me questions, ask me about the team working on this. So let's say there's 7 people in the squad that are working on this. They're going to use 12 weeks to develop it. Let's say once they develop it, the cost of operation will be running it will be $1,000 a month. So it will be 12,000 in a year. And then estimated cost of development, let's say it's going to cost 150,000 to develop. So what experience, whose experience are you looking to optimize? So the insurance customer. And what is the task insurance customer? So forms. Let's say on average, how long does it currently take a insurance customer to fill forms? Let's say it takes them about 30 minutes. And let's say they will do that once per year. Let's say the pain is medium. And what is the business opportunity description? So leverage AI to auto fill forms for the customer. I could have also got the program epic and inserted that here. How much time do you estimate autofill will save? So let's say with all the information the AI will have, it will be able to fill the form, and the customer will only take 5 minutes to review what the AI came up with. So let's say, so it will totally save 25 minutes. Technology, AI, cloud, automation, and assumptions. Let's say they have 500,000 customers. And here it will ask number of users performing this task. This will be the 500,000 that we mentioned. And then what is the average annual base salary of insurance customer? Let's just say 30,000 US dollar. And this is a multiplier in case we want to introduce additional FTE. So we'll say just one for now to the multiplier. How many hours per day does insurance customer work? Let's say if they work 8 hours a day, 5 days per week, and 48 weeks in a year, this will estimate that we will be able to save $3 million worth of effort if we leverage AI to autofill the form. So that value goes on the opportunity. So now assigned to the opportunity. And what we can do is also try to project when will this be delivered. So we said it was identified in July, and let's say it was delivered end of July. So what we see now is now the projection of that value starting from July all the way to a year from that time. You can change this to multiple years. So if it's going to be over, the return on investment is going to be recovered over more than 1 year, then you can project that over more than 1 year. You could also override the value projections that we had and put your own numbers here. So if you don't want to use value statements that we used, you can actually override it. So let's say this is already deployed in production. Let's say the projected revenue in the first month is only generated 100,000 of savings, and the actual cost of development was as predicted 150,000, and the cost of operation is 1,000 per month. Let's put that through the whole period. And then let's say that the value starts to grow. So 150,000 for the next month, third month, 200,000 of savings. And then last month, let's say 250,000 of savings. When I save this, you will see the actual return on investment being assigned to the different months. So yes, this is a manual entry. It is probably the only manual entry in the entire tool. And it's because we have no way to predict or find the values from the field for the actual savings. So somebody has to identify these and capture them. That's part of the role of the value orchestrator, to make sure that we're capturing return on investment from all our opportunities. And as you can see here, this is showing me how much of the projected value have we achieved. So projection attained is 54.93. Here it's 73.36, and here it is 91.79. So as it is growing, this means this is the right opportunity and we should continue to support it. If we see that value is dropping, then maybe we don't want to do more investments in this kind of opportunity because we're not realizing the return on investment. So the value projection, tracking return on investment, is one of the most important things in a business opportunity canvas. As you can see here, the AI generation succeeded. So let's preview the results. And here is listing everything. So problem, graduate hires are feeling frustrated due to overwhelming and complex life insurance application process, resulting in a low percentage of recent graduates with life insurance coverage. This pain point highlights the need for a streamlined onboarding process and simplified application forms to improve user experience and increase the number of graduates obtaining life insurance within their first year of employment. So who are we addressing here is graduate hires. Solution idea is to address the pain points of graduate hires feeling overwhelmed and frustrated with the complex life insurance application process and offer a streamlined onboarding process and simplified form. This will improve user experience. Value proposition is streamline your life insurance journey with our simplified application process, designed specifically for recent graduates. And the business value is streamlining the onboarding process and simplifying the application forms. We aim to increase the life insurance coverage among the recent graduates, resulting in estimated 5 million reduction in effort of filing forms. Graduates will experience an improved user experience, making it easier for them to secure life insurance. And impacts of proposed solution is to result in 25 increase in life insurance coverage among graduate hires within their first year of employment. Um, it also specified the metric for us. So as you can see, it can fill a lot of the required information. The other thing we can do is we can add other value metrics. So for example, let's create a custom one. And for this one, we will call it additional revenue from life insurance for graduate hires. And for this one, we can define our own KPI. Um, and for this, we need to write the formula. So the formula, to create a parameter in the formula, we need to put the @ sign and then list what that parameter is. Let's say here, number of graduate hires per year. And we'll multiply by that by percentage of graduate hires buying life insurance. Let's call it increase percentage of graduate hires buying life insurance. And actually, we need to put the formula. So I need to put a multiplier in the middle. So I'll put this one again. So increase in percentage of graduate hires buying life insurance. And we'll multiply that by I'll just correct this. So we'll multiply that by the life insurance premium in a year. And let's go ahead and, okay, I can see. Okay, so number of graduate hires per year. Let's say we have 100,000 graduate hires per year and increased percentage. I think it was 25%. So, um, so 0.25 of these graduate hires will buy that insurance, life insurance premium. Um, in a year, let's say it's around, for a graduate hire, it's probably around, let's say, 600, maybe $1,200 a year. Estimated cost of development, I think we estimated at 150. When we're creating different multiple salary statements, we probably want to split that across. So since we said it's 150, it should be about 700 and 75,000. And then years estimated of cost operation, let's say 500 here. And actually, because we already used these numbers in the previous one, so I'll just put zeros here. Then it's more accurate. We're not doubling the cost. So here it came up that we will be able to generate 30 million additional revenue of for this. So if we look now at the value, it now went up to 30 million. Part of it is because of that additional amount. So we need to come here and show what is the actual value from releasing this opportunity in the market. So we'll say started with generating 1.5 million in the first months, and then in the second month it generated 2 million, because here is the projected value that was expecting, and then in the following months, let's say it's 2.3 million. So if we save that, then you can see the actual value projection and so on. The other thing that we need to do is the value orchestration. So I shouldn't really be putting the actual value till the opportunity has launched, but I wanted to show you some other features first. So another thing we can do is we can analyze this opportunity with our AI. And what it will do, it will estimate the desirability, viability, and feasibility for this opportunity based on the data that's already identified in it. And once these numbers come back, we can override them and say we don't really like that. So desirability, this is something that is desirable. So it actually recommended 5, but I'm going to give 4. Viability, it recommended 4. It is viable, so I guess let's use the number it came up with. And feasibility, it is feasible, so we'll use 444. And by doing that, we now have a desirability, viability, and feasibility. How do these things help? If we go to the dashboard, to the main dashboard, and we'll discuss this main dashboard again in the future. Here is the business opportunity. It's currently in identified stage. And if I look at this chart, it tells me where it is from a feasibility point of view against its importance, which is an average of desirability and viability. So it tells me this is a win-win. This is something we should go invest in and start to do. I can access this opportunity also from this chart directly, and that helps you get to it. The other thing we can do is, since this is an identified, usually a product owner would identify an opportunity and start to draft it. Then it will go through a prioritization. Usually if there is a portfolio, there is a portfolio synchronization process that will go in and prioritize the different opportunities and focus on which one the squad, the co-create squad should work on. Then the co-create squad will take it and start to refine it. And probably all of this data will start to be entered when it's refined. So once they have refined it, the market has refined, and then they will propose it to a value orchestrator to come have a look at it, and the product owner also to review it. So we'll propose it, and then the value orchestrator will come and start to review it and validate the value assumptions and so on. And then the action will be to return it back to the squad or to mark it as reviewed. So let's say they marked it as reviewed. Now it is ready to go to the garage board It is the job of the garage leader to queue this opportunity. And these options that you're seeing here will only be available based on the different roles that are assigned in the squad and in the garage. So only a garage leader is able to see queue. So they're able to queue it, which means they're holding it to the next garage board. They'll present it to the garage board to make a decision. Then the garage board will look at the business opportunity canvas, assess the value projections, and make a decision, do they approve it or not? So if they approve it, they can take the action here and approve it. And once it's approved, it's ready to go to in-flight. In-flight means it's gonna start development. So at this point, we're gonna mark it as in-flight, and then it is in development. And like I mentioned, adding the return on investment should only happen after it has launched. But I'm going to keep it in flight so we can see more details, because once it goes to launch, if you go to this performance chart, it will disappear because we don't show launched opportunities because they'll clutter everything. So this one just shows you the funnel from discover to co-create to co-execute. Um, We also have a list view that shows you all of these different opportunities, and you can apply filters to see um, specific things. But one other thing I wanted to show is in the business opportunity canvas itself, there's additional capabilities and features we have. You can see all the details we entered so far showing up here. And some of these are editable, so you could change it on the fly from the table itself. Um, and some of them you have to enter into the opportunity to change it. Some of the additional features we have is that we can add columns to this table to add additional parameters that you would need. For example, if there is a need to create an ID, then you can mark this is the ID for this opportunity. For example, if you want to create another status, so let's create another status. And then here we can specify different things. You can create a new label. So new label will be in review, and add another one, reviewed. And we can get rid of the existing ones if we don't like them. And then when I select, I can select which state this is in. So we can also move these around. So this is all additional functionality that we have in this table to make it more robust. Like I mentioned, there are filters. You could also archive one of these, and if you archive it, then it will disappear. To see it, you will have to select the archived only, and then you're able to see it. And you can unarchive it in that case. You also have the ability to create comments and send these comments to a specific person in the squad. So I can add somebody. There is nobody else other than me. That's why I don't see anybody else. But if there is other members in the squad, then I'll be able to see them and add them in a comment that I'm sending on this specific business opportunity. You can also hide some of the columns. If some of these columns are of no interest, like related program epics, you can hide that column. And then once you hide it, you cannot see it anymore, but you will see it here. So then you can see which column is hidden, and then it comes back here if I clear it, and it will start to show up again. And here you can get access to the program epic as well. You can export this as a spreadsheet, and then you can have all the data into a spreadsheet as well. To demonstrate the business opportunity pipeline, what we will do is we will create different opportunities for each of the program epics that we have. So I'll go ahead and edit each one of the other program epics.
Let's create a business opportunity for each one of these. We're not gonna go ahead and generate the entire canvas. We're just gonna update the value. So for this one, I think let's make it start in August. And I'm gonna just override the value. And here, let's say this one will help us generate 100 million additional revenue. I'm gonna leave the cost and the operation as zero so we don't double count these metrics, these numbers. To change it to 100 million. And then let's do the same thing with the other program epic that we haven't used yet. Okay, we'll do the same thing. Just gonna override the value. And this one, let's make it just 5 million. And let's start it August as well. So now if I go to demonstrate the business opportunity pipeline, what we will do is we will create different opportunities for each of the program epics that we have. So I'll go ahead and edit each one of the other program epics. Let's create a business opportunity for each one of these. We're not gonna go ahead and generate the entire canvas. We're just gonna update the value. So for this one, I think let's make it start in August. And I'm gonna just override the value. And here, let's say this one will help us generate 100 million additional revenue. I'm gonna leave the cost and the operation as zero so we don't double count these metrics, these numbers. To change it to 100 million. And then let's do the same thing with the other program epic that we haven't used yet. And we'll do the same thing. Just gonna override the value. And this one, let's make it
Let's make it just 5 million. And let's start it August as well. So now if I go to my business opportunity canvas, to the pipeline, the business opportunity pipeline chart, the funnel, I will see these two different opportunities, and you can see they have different colors because they're in different value ranges. So that helps me differentiate them from one another. And as I progress any of these opportunities, they will go through the different phases of an opportunity. Identified is when a product owner identifies an opportunity they want to pursue. This is when they start to look at it, and then the product owner would have to do some portfolio prioritization with other product owners to evaluate which one of these opportunities are more important we need to focus on. And then the squad, the co-create squad, will take it and start to refine it, and then they will propose it, and then the value orchestration lead will come and review it, as well as the product owner, and validate it. Once they're happy with it, their market is reviewed, and then it's ready for the garage leader to queue it for the garage board to make a decision on it. The garage board will either approve it or reject it. If they approve it, that means it's got the green light to start to go into co-execute, and that's when it gets into the in-flight state. And then when it's complete and deployed, that is when it's in launched. And once an opportunity is launched, that's when we start to track the return on investment from that launch date. And that's why when I was setting this date here, projected delivery date, that is really the launch date. So this allows us to see all the different opportunities. Again, I can go back to the business opportunity list and set the DVF for all of them. So you can see the first one we did set the DVF for it, the desirability, viability, and feasibility. So let's make this one low and make this one high on all. And then now when I go back into the performance dashboard, I can look at this chart and it will show me what is the quick wins, what is things that are strategic or things that we can focus on later based on the desirability, the feasibility, and the importance, which is a combination of both desirability and viability. I hope the demonstration gave you a good understanding of the business opportunity capability and how it relates to other practices in IBM Garage, such as value orchestration, for example. Please share your feedback on this topic and feel free to leave comments or questions if you need more clarification. I will be happy to address them.